So it's round 2, we start with question 1 for 6 points. This building normally costs £18 to enter, but it is free for people who want to carry out a certain activity in it. It's Norman.
St Paul's Cathedral.
Is the correct answer.
Wow.
Okay, we all green again?
Yeah.
Question 2. John Cabot, Harewood the Wake, and Bambi Woods, who played the title character in the art house film Debbie Does Dallas. For 5 points, Hungarian serial killer Bela Kish, head of Gestapo Heinrich Müller, and the writer Ambrose Bierce. For 4 points, the 9th Roman Legion and the colonists of... That is Clive.
All went missing.
All went missing, yep, and never been found yet. That was 4, was that 5? No,
4.
4. Okay, question 3. 6 points. The 2 battles of Baruna took place in this country. For 5 points. The country has successfully been conquered by a Telmarine army. For 4 points. This country's first rulers were King Frank I and Queen Helen. For 3 points. During this country's golden age it had 4 rulers who were all siblings and had the nicknames the Valiant, the Just, the Gentle and the Magnificent. 1300 years after their reign, it was ruled by King Caspian X, known as the Seafarer. Kid. Narnia, that's correct.
That's the kind of thing, I'm pretty sure I knew that from 5 out, but I couldn't think why I knew it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
3 points for Steve Kidd. No one's negged yet. Okay, question 4, 6 points. The company which this company was formed from was set up in 1922 by William Walmsley and William Lyons and was called the Swallow Sidecar Company. Norman?
Jaguar.
Yeah.
You pressed as well?
Clive was in as well.
Oh,
I didn't know the word Walmsley bit like when you were in line.
Norman, get your finger on that buzzer, mate.
Yeah, I think you're probably quite safe.
You need some more points, you're not safe.
If everyone's getting it for 6 points though. Question 5. This person was born in Winchester in 1983 and first found fame 20 years later when they were discovered on Bournemouth Beach. For 5 points, they appear alongside Alex Reid, Chris Kamara, Darren Day, Jess Impazazzi and Callum Best in the 2017 film Dangerous Game. And in 2009 they were the first person to be eliminated in the 6th series of Celebrity Big Brother. For 4 points, they wrote a weekly advice column in Nuts magazine called The Truth About Women. For 3 points, in 2007 in a poll by Daily Star readers, 49% of responders said that they had the best breasts in Britain. Bean.
Kelly Brook.
Kelly Brook is incorrect for
Oh,
-3.
that's 1 out of the running now.
Danielle Lloyd trailed far behind in the poll in second place with only 13% of the vote. For 2 points. In 2014 she was the last cover girl and centrefold of Nuts magazine before it ceased publication. Rhodes?
Shelky.
That is -2. Do you know it now, Chris?
I think so.
For 1 point. Who is this Southampton supporting glamour model who made their modelling debut in 2003 and had a gimmick of never appearing topless until she finally did in 2007 with Nuts' highest ever selling edition. Her upcoming appearance was advertised just after the Watershed on ITV.
Have a go at this.
Yeah, well it's -1. It's always live.
-1.
It's always live, but...
Oh, that's cool.
Pinder.
Lucy Pinder is correct.
That's a useful 1 point when you consider the name of next, you know what I mean? It could be the difference between a 1 and a 0.
I was going to go Pinder as well.
Oh, you good. Question 6. 6 points. One of this person's 5 children wrote 5 episodes of Star Trek Voyager and the novels Everfree, Edenborn and Idlewood, whilst in 2005 this person was voted 99th on the TV series 100 Greatest Americans, and in 1977 delivered the Royal Institution Christmas Lectures. For 5 points, he co-founded the Planetary Society, helped Frank Drake write the Acebo message, wrote the introduction to Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time, and made numerous appearances on Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to promote science. For 4 points, He spent most of his career as a professor of astronomy at Cornell University.
Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan is correct.
It was Carl Sagan in from a bit of a way out there. You were as well, weren't you?
So,
I couldn't believe it for you.
so after 6 questions at the halfway stage, Norman on 12 in first, Steve on 7 is in second, Steve Kidd, Clive on his third with 5, and in fourth on 0 is Lee, with Steve Rhodes on -2 and Chris on -3. Question 7. Between 2000 and 2004, Samantha Maloney was the drummer in this band, making her the only woman to play in it. Their last album released in 2008 was Saints of Los Angeles, whilst their first in 1981 was Too Fast for Love. For 5 points, the bassist for the band, who left the band London to create it, said he found it as he wanted to create a band that would be like David Bowie and the Sex Pistols thrown in a blender with Black Sabbath. The real names of their most famous lineup are Frank Ferrana Jr., Robert Deal, Vincent Wharton and Thomas Bass. 4 points. The band were known for their wild party and copious amounts of drug taking. The founder bass player has written the book The Heroin Diaries, a year in the life of a shattered rock star. He also technically died for several minutes. Steve Rhodes?
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue is correct. It's 4 points for Steve Rhodes, which puts him in a qualifying spot.
That's a good early.
Don't you got the second clue?
Question 8, 6 points. This novel was published by Thomas Egerton in 1813 and is set in Hertfordshire and Derbyshire. 5 points. One character in the novel is only 27, but is considered to be on the prime age for marriage, and as a result marries a pompous man who stands to inherit a good-sized estate even though she doesn't love him. For 4 points. Buildings which appear in this novel include Netherfield and Longbourn. During the novel, a disgraced army officer elopes with a 15-year-old sister of the main character. For 3 points.
Yeah. Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice. Yeah. I had 4 points. I hadn't started on
What
that.
put me off at the beginning of that? Why?
Thomas Egerton was the publisher.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to write. Yeah, I wasn't going to say Jane Austen.
No, but it's like I'm thinking. Pride and Prejudice.
Question 9. 6 points. This biannual sporting competition first took place in 2006 and ran for the 7th time on the 10th of June 2018. 5 points. Sportsmen who've competed in this event include Sergei Fedorov, Ben Johnson, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Brian Lara, Dan Carter and AP McCoy. For 4 points. In 2018, former England cricket captain Kevin Peterson represented South Africa in this. For 3 points. David Seaman is the only person to play in every match. After previous ever-presents Jimmy Theakston and Patrick Keelty didn't play in 2018. In 2016, Ben Shepherd was sent off in this match, and in 2010 the winning penalty was scored by Woody Harrelson. For 2 points, this event was set up by Jonathan Wilkes and Robbie Williams. Wilkes and Teddy Sheringham's record of being the all-time top goal scorers was broken in 2018 by Clarence Seedorf. For 1 point, what is this biannual charity football match which takes place at Old Trafford and features teams of celebrities and former pro footballers who represent either England or the rest of the world?
I knew, that's it, I knew.
I can't remember what it's called.
Is it Sparta?
No one in? So, Soccerade.
All right.
Can you have another question? I can cut that one out.
The brilliant.
Question 10, 6 points.
Give me a drink.
Is alleged that North Korean Deputy Minister of Public Security, Oh Sang-hon, was a victim of this in 2014. For 5 points. This last occurred legally in the UK on the 18th of March 1789 and happened to a woman found guilty of counterfeiting. For 4 points. Bad weather could put a delay to this kind of event. For 3 points. No one found guilty at the Salem witch trial suffered this fate. Lee?
Burnt the stake.
Burnt at the stake is correct.
Very good,
So
Lee.
it's 3 points.
Very useful.
So 2 questions to go.
I need a 6-pointer.
Norman's on 12, so he's in first place. Clive is on 9. Steve Kidd's on 7. And Lee is the last qualifying place with 3. With Steve Rhodes on 2 and Chris on -3. Question 11. This person was portrayed by Alexis May in the 2017 parody porn film Hard Brexit Exit. For 5 points, she claims that she was inspired by Margaret Thatcher to get into politics. She has campaigned against the replacement of Trident and has since 2010 been married to Peter Morrell. For 4 points, they graduated with a law degree from Glasgow University in 1992 and qualified as a solicitor in 1995. They worked in this role until they were elected to the Scottish Parliament in 1997. Clive, Nicola Sturgeon is correct for 4 points. Chris, you need 6 points, so
Yeah.
I've given you a chance.
Please be wrestling.
For 6 points. In 2016, the current and latest game in this series was released. It is the 22nd in the series and has the subtitle XL. The first game was first released in 1992.
Final Fantasy.
Is incorrect.
Oh, unlucky.
Had to go for it though. Steve Rhodes is still in with a chance of getting through.
Not on a question.
The backgrounds for the you probably get it on this though. The backgrounds to the first games so the background for the first game is that in the universe's 6 realms, they can only invade each other if the best warriors from one realm beat the best warriors from another of the realms in 10 consecutive tournaments. The warriors of Outworld have beat the warriors of the Earth realm in the last 9 tournaments and are aiming to win their 10th so they can conquer Earth. For 4 points, the game has had 4 television spin-offs called Defenders of the Realm, Conquest, Rebirth and Legacy, and 2 film spin-offs, the second of which has the subtitle Annihilation. The original film stars Christopher Lambert as a thunder god. For 3 points, the game series is now made by NetherRealm Games, which is owned by Warner Brothers, but was originally made by Midway. Lesser known characters in the game have included Aaron Black, Nightwolf, Movado and Smoke. For 2 points, the game introduced finishing moves including Friendships, where you do something nice for your defeated opponent, and Animality, where you turn into an animal and kill your opponent, or a Fatality, where you brutally kill your opponent, usually by ripping off their head or setting them on fire. For 1 point, what is the name of this brutal series of beat-em-up fighting games which features the characters Kano, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero, and uses a K in its title instead of a C?
Liam knows the answer if nobody else does.
I think you probably got it a long time ago.
Yeah.
That is Rhodes.
Oh, because Cage Fighter.
That is incorrect for -1. Would have put you in a tie if you'd got it.
You only needed to look that way, mate.
Nobody. It is Mortal Kombat, which is just over there.
Oh, because he's sorry.
So that's the end of that round, and our qualifiers are Clive, Norman, Steve Kidd, and Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, so sort of familiar with the rules. First to 12 gets the win. Lose a life if you incorrectly interrupt. Nothing away if the question's finished. Question 1. In a game of Texas Hold'em poker, what is the lowest possible hand a player can have? Question over. Nothing away if you get it wrong.
6 high.
Is incorrect. Nothing away. Someone's unsubscribed. No. Norman
5 high.
is incorrect. Lee?
Straight.
No.
7
7 high.
High
No.
card.
7 high, isn't it? 2 high.
No, that's in the stud poker.
Alright.
It'd be a 9 high because you got the 2 communal
Oh,
cards.
Ah, of course,
I
yeah.
don't play that.
Silly old name.
Is everyone gone green? Because someone thought
Yeah, I'm in.
someone unsubscribed there, I think.
Chris B.
Oh, yeah, it'll be probably Chris. Right, question 2. In 9 AD, which Roman poet produced the poem Ibis? He wrote...
Ovid.
Ovid is correct.
Roman port. There's more than one, you know.
I'm a student of his work.
There's more than one.
Next one.
That poetry.
What is the full name of the TV station which was set up in 1980 by Ted Turner as the world's first TV channel to offer 24 hours a day news coverage? Lee?
Cable News Network.
Cable News Network is
Good
correct.
answer, I was nowhere near it.
He said CNN, didn't he?
Which X Factor runner-up had their 4th UK #1 album in 2016 with the album 24 Hours? Lee?
Ollie Murs.
Ollie Murs is correct, yeah.
You only expect a runner who's actually done anything.
Damn it. Oh no, he wouldn't expect it, was it?
Driving a Porsche 919 hybrid car, his current Formula 1 driver was part of the team which won the 2017 Le Mans 24 Hours race. Since 2017 he has driven for the Toro Rosso team. I haven't finished yet.
Fernando Alonso.
That's one life away. Only ever securing one championship point. Who is the only current Formula 1 driver from New Zealand? Nobody? Anybody? That is Hartley, Brendan Hartley. Yeah. Brendan Hartley.
He should be in.
He's
That's still Canadian.
yeah. Gary Grant does not rate Brendan Hartley at all.
He doesn't make probably your Gary Grant that highly, either.
Yeah, probably not a fan. Right, this politician and barrister, on his death at the age of 101 in 2003, was succeeded by Prince Philip as the senior member of the Privy Council. An MP for the Labour Party for St Helens, he served as the Attorney General from 1945 to 1951, when he took on the job of the President of the Board of Trade. Who is this person who was the successful prosecutors of the traitors Leo Amery and William Joyce, who was also Britain's lead prosecutor at the first Nuremberg trial? Clive?
Shinwell.
Nope, nothing away. Lee?
Lord Hailsham.
Nope. Norman?
Cheshire.
Nope.
I'm not having a go.
Anyone?
No.
Hartley Shawcross.
I'm glad I didn't even go for an attempt on that.
Successfully prosecuted by Sir Hartley Shawcross in 1949 and unsuccessfully defended by former Attorney General and Nuremberg trial prosecutor Sir David Maxwell Fyfe, which serial killer, found guilty and hanged for 6 murders, including those of Donald Swan and Henrietta Durand Deacon, was known as the acid bath murderer? Steve Kidd?
Hey,
Yep, John George Haig.
nearly broke the screen.
Containing some of the equipment used by John George Haig, what is the name of the museum that was founded in 1874? And Clive?
Black Museum.
The Black Museum, yep. Yeah, not open to the public, but contains artefacts relating to famous British crimes. It's in New Scotland Yard.
So I've got a point there.
I've never actually.
Clive should have a point, yep. With the highest point being Black Elk Peak, and featuring in a song in the musical Calamity Jane, they are apparently a beautiful country which... Kid?
Black Hills of Dakota.
Yeah, Black Hills of Dakota, yeah.
Well, the hills in Carnegie.
The smart fold.
One for Steve Kidd. The actress Dakota Blue Richards' film debut came in 2007, playing the lead role of Lyra Belacqua in which film? Steve Kidd.
Well, it's the Golden Compass.
The Golden Compass is correct, yeah.
Sorry about that. You can see where I went wrong there, can't you?
A 2004 romantic novel called Northern Lights was written by this person. Kidd
Man from Philip Pullman.
is incorrect.
Sorry.
One life away. She has spent 176 weeks at the top of the New York Times bestsellers list and has written under the pseudonyms Sarah Hardestry, Jill Marsh and J.D. Robb. The writer of more than 225 romantic novels, who is this American writer whose works include the Death series, Whiskey Beach, Come Sundown and Year One. Clive?
Danny Ulster.
Nope. Question over, nothing away. Norman?
Patricia Cornwell.
Nope. Late, nothing. Anyone?
I've never heard of this.
Nora Roberts.
Oh.
Never heard of it,
Which person born Russell Roberts played Luther Hobbo Hopdyke in Last of the Summer Wine?
Russ Abbott.
Russ Abbott. An atmosphere about that question. The International Space Station orbits in which layer of the Earth's atmosphere? Its highest area is sometimes referred to as the exobase, whilst its lowest part contains the ionosphere. Lying between altitudes of 50 miles up to 620 miles, what is the second highest layer of the atmosphere, lying between the mesosphere? Norman?
Stratosphere.
Is incorrect, life away.
I thought it was the second one.
Lying between the mesosphere and the exosphere.
Oh, no, it's Lee first.
Lee?
Thermosphere.
The thermosphere, yeah.
How did you get it so quickly there?
I
Just wait for that second one.
Wait for the
I
clincher.
thought it was that before.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Hey, I don't believe you can't risk it, can you?
Docking on the 20th of October 2003, who was the first British-born person to set foot on the international
False.
Falls, yeah. Question wasn't quite over, so took the risk.
Come on.
Yeah, no.
Despite being left-handed, this player throws his darts right-handed, and he threw the first 9 dart finish in the PDC World Darts Championship. In 2003, he won the third of his 4th BDO World Darts titles, and following his move to the PDC in 2006, he would go on to win his only world title in 2007. Lee?
Raymond Van
Yeah,
Barneveld.
RVB, yeah.
How do you even take that stuff?
Number 16. A Dutch Golden Age painter, he is noted for his loose brushwork and helping introduce the lively style of painting into Dutch art. His 5 sons include Harman and Rainier, who also became painters, and like this man, specialised in portraiture. Despite his... Norman
Rembrandt.
is incorrect. That is Norman's 3 lives gone.
Oh. Good score.
Do you know, but wants to be careful.
Hey, Steve.
Despite his work being prominently featured in many art galleries, including the Wallace Collection, for 2 centuries after his death, his paintings were held in such low regard that they were available for very little money, with his portrait of Johannes Acronus selling for just 5 shillings in 1786. The most well-known portrait of René Descartes was painted by this man, who died in Haarlem in 1666. Who was this man who is known for his paintings, The Merry Drinker, The Gypsy Girl, Clive?
Howls.
Franz Howells, yeah.
Hey, no. Look at it.
And you also
Leave over with it.
I do that from the house.
Yeah, you need the room.
That's better.
What is the English... Oh, Norman's... A couple of buzzes from Norman there. He's still buzzing away. Well, you lost 6 lives now, Norman. What is the English translation of the philosophical statement by Descartes? Kid?
I think therefore I am.
I think, therefore I am.
You can have
Yeah.
French as well, je pense quand je suis.
So Steve Kidd's halfway there.
Hey!
6 points, but he's lost a life. No one else has lost one who's currently still in.
Windy.
In 1650, René Descartes died in which capital city? Which is also the birthplace...
Oslo.
Is incorrect, 1 life away.
This is nice for us to live. Let's back off and let's go with the line.
Which is
together.
also the birthplace of Formula 1 world champion Keke Rosberg. Kid
Oh, go for Helsinki.
is incorrect. Fell for my trap. 1 life left. It contains the headquarters of the companies Scandia and Ericsson, and is the home of the football teams Hammarby and Djurgårdens. I never know how to pronounce that word. It's also the venue for the 1912 Summer Olympics, the equestrian section of the 1956 Games. Lee.
Stockholm.
Be wrong.
Stockholm.
Be wrong.
Christine, wasn't it? I went for wrong.
He's Finnish, but he was born in Stockholm, Keke Rosberg.
Well done. It's good to set traps for people who give good answers and then lose out because of it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be clue number 2 if it was Helsinki, would it?
Are you happy anyway?
Yeah, very. You did exactly what I wanted you to
She
do.
fell for my trap giveaway what Michael was thinking. How he was feeling.
Right. Which Marvel comic character has been played on screen by Ray Stevenson, Thomas Jane, and Dolph Lundgren? He is a gun-toting...
The Punisher.
The Punisher is correct.
Wow.
Who's the Punisher?
Down with Marvel.
Appearing on the 1979 album Freedom at Point Zero, Jane is a song by which American band? Kid?
It's Jefferson Starship.
Jefferson Starship, yep.
We were back. Well, English anyway, I guess.
Named after the 3rd US president, the ship Jefferson was constructed in 1801 in Salem, Massachusetts by George Crowninshield Jr. It was the first American ship to be designed specifically as what kind of boat? A type of boat which could be described as being used for pleasure or sport. Kid?
Yacht.
A yacht, yep.
As easy as that.
Living in the town of Greendale, which comic Lee,
Postman Pat.
fell into my trap. It's one away.
Oh, I was glad you got that, Lee.
Living in the town of Greendale, which comic book and television character has the surname Spellman, as aunties called Hilda and
Sabrina the Teenage.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch is correct.
Just hang on a minute.
Never going to be clue 1, Postman Pat Greendale. A cation is an ion with fewer electrons and protons, giving it a positive charge. It gets its name from the Greek word kato, which means what? Kid?
Hanging.
No, nothing away. Lee?
Less.
No,
Joined together.
no. Anyone? That's down.
You know, because you were saying where hanging came from, can't you?
Yeah. Put me on that track. Which person, when asked to protest against the controversial film The Passion of St. Tipulus, did so whilst chained to an iron railing and holding a sign saying, "Down with that sort of thing"? Kid?
Could be out here. Have you finished?
No, not finished yet, no.
Dougal Maguire.
Is incorrect.
Oh,
I know either way.
His colleague held a sign saying, "Careful now."
move together, guys.
Lee?
Father.
Father Ted,
Oh, is it?
yeah, Dougal Maguire held careful now.
Sorry.
That's why I pressed, because there's only 2 of them.
Well, how do you know it's about Father Ted anyway?
Just to start the 10th thing.
The 2 sequels to this controversial 2009 film were both originally banned in the UK,
Oh, we've got that.
but have subsequently been allowed to be released.
Do you know what?
The film stars Dieter Lazar as Dr. Joseph Heiter, a specialist in the separation of
The Human
the
Centipede.
human centipede, is correct.
A great film.
One I've sadly missed.
Yeah, no,
Between 1984 and 85, the French international footballer Didier Cisse briefly played for which English club side?
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, yep.
Remember that.
So Clive is on 7, Lee is on 6, so you need 5 more, Lee needs 6, both have lost a life. Exact answer required. The Aston process involves pouring molten steel from a Bessemer converter, which is 1500 degrees centigrade, and pouring it into a 1200 degrees molten slag. What alloy with a very low carbon content is produced by this process after the resulting spongy mass is rolled or hammered to expel the molten slag? A version of this alloy was used in the construction of the Eiffel Tower. Lee?
Stainless steel, yeah.
No, nothing away. Nope. Anyone?
Stainless steel.
Wrought iron.
All right.
I was thinking some kind of steel.
About half the size of the original, in which American city would you find a 504 feet tall replica of the Eiffel Tower? Lee?
Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, yeah.
Is it?
Lucky.
The replica of the Eiffel Tower in Las Vegas is only the 13th is only the 13th tallest structure in the city. Which structure, which is part of the northernmost casino on the Las Vegas Strip, is at 1,150 feet, the second tallest tower in the Western Hemisphere after the CN Tower and the tallest structure in Las Vegas? For you might know it. Nobody? The Stratosphere Tower, yeah. Filmed at 713 Las Vegas Boulevard South, which History Channel programme sees Austin Russell, better known as Chumley, and 3 members of the Harrison family buy valuable items from members of the public who are in need of quick cash for as low amount as possible with a view to selling them for a big profit. Despite the name of the show, it does not feature people in the same line of work as Ron Jeremy, Lindsay Dawn McKenzie or Ben Dover.
Oh, it's
So like Porn Wars or...
Not Porn Wars, no. Lee?
Porn Stars.
Porn Stars is correct, yeah.
It's your day today, mate. You're going to get through this now.
Both on 8 points. Oh, I've done some. No, but Lee's on 8, Clive's on 7. Both have lost 1 life. This person was born in 1974 and is thought to be the person who has made the most money in the profession they're most well known for. And also the first person in this profession to be immortalised with the Madame Tussauds waxwork, which appeared in the Las Vegas branch in 2006. In an interview with Larry King in 2013, they declared themselves as extremely Catholic. They have made appearances in the WWE, Family Guy and the Grand Theft Auto Vice City computer game. They played the lead roles in the horror films The Legend of Sam Hain and Zombie Strippers. In 2009, this person had twin sons with a former UFC light heavyweight champion Tito Ortiz. Her first appearance in the genre she is most famous for was in the film Up and Comers 11. Which person in 2004 topped the New York Times bestsellers list for 6 weeks with autobiography How to Make Love Like a Porn Star? Chris in again.
Jane Austen, is it?
Jenna James.
Jenna Jameson is correct, yeah. This person was the great-grandson of John Jameson, the founder of the Jameson Irish Whiskey Company. He was made a Marquess in 1929 by King Victor Emmanuel III, while Benito Mussolini served as the best man at his second wedding. He was celebrated on a British £2 coin in 2000.
Marconi?
Marconi is correct, yeah. Both now at the 8 points.
3-way tie.
Yeah, if only. You would have got Jenna Jameson, wouldn't you, Steve?
I would have got Gemma Jason. I think I might have got him Marconi.
Victor Emmanuel III and his successor Umberto II, the last two kings of Italy, were both members of which royal house? Lee?
Savoy.
Savoy is correct. 3 away. As well as being king of Italy from April 1939 to September 1943, Victor Emmanuel III was also king of which European country? Both his predecessor and successor in this position was King Zog I. Clive?
Albania.
Albania is correct, yeah, both on 9. What is the name of the only 2 people who appear on British TV who come from the planet Zog? They released an album called Lee?
Zig and Zag.
Zig and Zag, yeah.
Good game.
Gertie pudding is traditionally served as part of a Cornish breakfast. It is similar to which Scottish dish? It is made from boiled...
Haggis.
Haggis is correct, yeah. Both on 10. Typically recited on the 25th of January. Addressed to a haggis. Lee?
Robbie Burns.
Robbie Burns, yeah. 1 away. In 1789, Robert Burns started to work for this organisation, which ceased to exist in 2005. Geoffrey Chaucer, Daniel Defoe, Thomas Paine and Lee.
Customs and Excise.
Customs and Excise is correct.
Hey! Just stay where you are, fellas, for a minute. I know nobody can say it, but thanks, Mike, for a great set of questions. That is, I mean, to be an observer on something as exciting as that. I mean, do we in the audience agree that was good fun to watch, these guys going at it? So frustrating sometimes, and sometimes
2 points, that's it.
so respectful. A great set, Mike. And having said, the father tech question was perfect. Do you know what I mean? It just was. So, well done. Well done, Lee. Final. Woo-hoo!